And right, all I'm doing at the moment, Ed, is just looking at just doing a quick scan of the top movers. This one, and then see if anything I like. These are US dollar techs. It's Ivan. What do you think of Ivanhoe, guys? Have a quick look at trend lines. It's a bit messy, isn't it? I think that's too messy. That looks like a share split to me. No, it can't be. It wouldn't share split at that price. Can you hear me, Ed?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's got a decent base at 50. We're 54. A lot of resistance above 57. I think there's better charts out there. I think we should scrap it. What do you think?
I quite like the last 2 days.
You quite like what? Sorry.
The last 2 days bars.
Yeah. Actually, let me put my headphones on here. That's better. This is a massive level, isn't it? We were up to 77. What are the downside risks? The downside risk, we've been selling since March 7. We've been on quite a decent path down. I think if you got a dip to 52 and didn't risk much money and put a stop under 49, you'd be okay.
Yeah.
This one's popped up in my scan list quite a lot. I'm just trying to think why. But it's been, I mean, if you look at October last year, that was quite a slide down to 34. Picked up to 71, drops to 50, picks up to 77, drops to 50. See, last time
it's a bit weird that it's made it got up. Sorry, it's a bit of a delay on here. It's a bit weird that it made it all the way up to nearly 80 and then dropped back down.
I think that's too risky. I think there's better charts out there.
Yeah.
Right, let's just quickly finish scanning through this list. That's got a habit of gapping. Don't like that. Okay, let's have a quick look at Wall Street, big movers. Looking for stuff. Any popular names I recognise? No, that's not what I thought it is. Very good trending stock. Been a slow mover on the grind up. Gap down. Oh, it's just closed the gap, isn't it? No, I wouldn't go for that. You need a big pullback, a fairly big stop. Warrant Express Hotels, because I kept shorting Marriott Hotels and that just would not sell. Rack Space. Now I followed this one a lot in the past. These guys got caught out by now cloud storage systems that people use. Keeps making lower highs. It is a potential reversal setup. I personally don't like it. Way too much localized resistance. 33.65 is going to be big. I would step aside. Right, okay, let's get out of that scan. Let me just go back over my... Let's stick with the US for now. Let's look at... Oil stocks have moved well, haven't they? This is NGLS. So potash based around that 34.25. That's I've missed that. That's a big miss. If that pulls back to we'll see a pullback to that trend line. That will be good. Otherwise, that is a miss. Let's stick with just oil stocks at the moment. Let's carry on with the theme of oil. Valero under resistance. This rig is interesting. Came off this 39. What do you think of rig? What do you think of rig, guys?
Not sure yet.
Okay, are you just putting it up?
No, I'm looking at your chart, but
okay.
I think maybe maybe another bottom would be good.
I think that's a. We'll look at the weekly in a minute. We've closed above the 8.21 on the daily. We've got this resistance up here, or we're at resistance now. I think if that pulls back to 40.80, 40.80 was resistance. That's now support. I think 40.80 is a potential entry on that.
Why are you so interested in the oil stocks at the moment?
Because oil's holding up well, and a lot of them, the sector seems to be in favour at the moment. So just looking at, as we click through the different components, you'll see NGLS was messy but picked up. Suncor. A bit of a scrappy chart. This is potentially too risky. No, I think that's too weak. That one's already gone. RSI is already getting high. That yanked itself up and wouldn't pull.
That looks alright.
Well, this PTEN.
Yeah. Apart from the high RSI, it looks like it's got a clear run.
Yeah. I think the most you could expect on that is a pullback to 30.72. We've had 2 good days on that. It looks like that could just pop already, isn't it?
It's already gone, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think it's too high. Let's see if there's some better stocks out there, some better charts. Oxy.
What was that last one? PAA?
Yeah. So that's got major resistance at 60. Any pullback to not. That's had 3 good days on it. If that pops back to 54.15, I think there's a chance that could get.
That just looks a lot cleaner to me, that one.
I think that's. I think 54.15 is a big area right across that chart. I think there's a reasonable chance that may come back and test that sometime soon. I would be tempted to put an order out and leave an order out for a couple of days, see if that can test that. Otherwise, leave it.
Yeah.
54.
So I think there's likely to be some kind of a retracement in oil. So
yeah.
A little bit of a pullback, and then you might get it.
Okay. Noble struggling with 200. I tell you what though, if Noble comes back to 68.88 and holds, I would see if I could build a position in that. 68, 65. I'm going to keep an eye on Noble for that pullback, see if it holds. And Newfield gone. Murphy gone. Scrappy chart. If that I think this cog is good. A little bit of a hesitant bar up there yesterday. So if we get a pullback to 11.88 on cog, massive support 11. I think that's probably one of the better charts that we've seen so far in this sector. Got that trend line resistance under there, but if we get a pullback, if we can get that 11.88, 11.90, I think that's worth a shout. Keg, I would leave. iGas is a UK stock, actually. What do you think of iGas?
Yeah, not bad. It's quite a large stop there, though, isn't it?
It is, and yeah, this is a UK stock. So if you drop down to a 60-minute, It's certainly trying here. Let's keep that on the. Oh, it's a lovely move up to 160. That's all. 134 is massive resistance now. As you say, it's quite a big stop. I think that's got the potential to move. I think this 114 is held well, holding the 50 EMA. Might look at that later today.
You've got
That's right.
you've got a breakout there, and it's,
Yeah.
You've got a breakout from that congestion, and then you've also got the W bottom.
Yeah.
With all of that buying, basically, it's kind of getting higher lows, isn't it?
If you look at where we came from, this 120. Well, the 120 was where we broke up from before we scampered up to 164. So we're held the 200, and we're basing on this 120 at the moment. I think if you held out for a lower, I don't know, 120, 122, and even put it under, just no, if you're going to do it, you really got to go under that 115, haven't you? It's not this. I think that's something. I'll come back to that a bit later on, and I think that's probably worth it. I think that's basing. Hercules is horrible. Exxon. XCO.
That looks quite nice as well.
Oh, look, this is good. This is nice. Retested the trend line and held yesterday. A lot of resistance at 660. I'm not sure if we'll see it again, but even 550, 545 would be good on that one. Diamond offshore. Rolled over and picked up. Nice move off the lows.
So when you, Mike,
Yeah.
when you see a load of correlated charts like this basing, does that mean you can go back to the driving force and look at oil and suggest that that's also heading up as well?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll just look at a few more of these, and then we'll do a review of oil. Perhaps we should have done that first, really, if we're looking at a sector like this. Yeah. I would keep an eye out on that, because if that retests that trend line. Devon has gone. Denbury is messy. Kaiko gone.
Yeah, I had a limit order in that a while back and I missed it.
Which one was that?
Kanoko.
Right. That was good at 67.45, wasn't it? That was a nice chart.
It was something like that, but it was a bit too just a bit below it, unfortunately.
Right. This cog is interesting. Sitting on that, actually that fib level's not very good. Let me update the fibs on this. There's a couple of topping tails on this one. If we come back to 33.10, got a 50 and 200 cross above us, so it could just roll over. I would watch that. See if we retraced and held. What do you think, Ed and Mike?
To me, that tells a completely different story. That looks a lot more choppy than any of the others.
Yeah, it's struggling with that level. A watch for now, an Apache.
If I look at the weekly and the monthly, they both look like they're in downtrends.
Right. It does look as if that could rotate back to the trend. I mean, that 34.15 is huge. I'd be interested to see if that retraced and would it.
I mean, now it's already had a massive protracted move.
Yeah.
Over the last
A nice sort of a funnel effect there. Just can't hold up, and this could just rotate back to the trend. Yeah. Okay. Oil. Let's have a look at oil. We are struggling. Hit a fib level. 50 MA is turning up through the lower fib level. Nice move off of that 200. What's your target? You're in this, Ed. What's your target on this?
I'm just going to kind of try and hold it up to the 1100 area, really, or just below that, 10,
right.
800.
So you're looking for a big push up here, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how we finish on the monthly, since we're the first of the month today. So there's a potential hammer on a trend line, sitting on a trend line. So we'd need to close above 102.50 sometime soon. This week. Got US jobs on Friday. Expectation is for a positive number. We had a positive number in the jobs, and we finished the week on 102.50. We could potentially go to 120. Obviously, we've got major resistance at 103, 104. So 114. What am I talking about? 115. It's building up nicely. RSI is not too high, so if we obviously 105 is massive. Have a look at the weekly.
The path of least resistance looks up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Weekly, we've had a hammer, a higher close, sitting on 50%. So at the moment, this is just the dip we got at the moment is just a pull back to that buyer's bar.
Yeah.
On the weekly chart, that 107.20 is big on the weekly chart.
Where's that? The
I'll just hang on, just put it back. $107.20 is this top of the fib zone. So yeah, I mean a nice bar last week, pull back in the early part of the week, invents tomorrow. It's, I mean, certainly the last couple of what I would say for the bears is couple of topping tails on Friday and Monday, but if you look at this with moving averages on, we have a bullish consolidation as far as the moving average is concerned. The 8 and the 20 are opening up. Tests of the 8 are getting bought. So we need to close above, well, ideally 102. Close above 102 would be perfect. Close above 101.60 would be good. A lower close under 101 would be iffy. So we're holding up.
Sure. Isn't some selling?
Isn't some what, sorry?
In terms of those last few days, isn't some selling expected at that point?
Yeah, I would. We might easily get. I mean, we could even stay in this trend. We could even pull back to 150 and still stay in this trend. All we're doing is touching the 21. If you look at this symmetry over here, I think
that's probably likely.
Yeah, if you look at this symmetry over here before this breakout up to the 105, that's fairly similar to what we're seeing here. So we saw a big push up into the top of that box, dropped and consolidated around the 8, and then ran. So we've pushed into this high area, consolidating, and we could see symmetry and running. Yeah, so this kind of consolidation could see us repeat the mid-Feb action. Okay.
It's almost exactly the same set of bars, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Markets like symmetry like that, and the fact the 8 and the 21 are opening up suggests we could and should hold. Let's see. While we've got commodities, let's have a look at let's catch up with the other commodities. Wheat is struggling. What do I think is going to happen with wheat? I think if we come back and touch, let me update the fibs. I think there's a this will be good on a pullback.
Why is there a gap on this chart, Mike? Is this just the IG charts?
It's the it's a contract chart, not continuous contract. It's a May chart, not a continuous contract chart.
Right.
So I think if we pull back So now we've got a bit of a hangman bar there. Lower close yesterday. So the trend line 665, $6.65 is a buy area for me. If we get that low. This, yeah, 60 yesterday, or that 675 is a major area which we touched. Have a look at the weekly, that might tell us more. That daily's a little bit confusing.
So where was that buy?
I think we may come as low as 662, 665. At which point I think we'll resume the uptrend. A 50% retrace will be 660, 658, 655. I think we just need to keep an eye on that. I mean, we're definitely distributing at the moment. Just need to keep an eye on that. It's not a great chart. Oh, come on, what's happened to this?
Is it not worth putting it out at sort of the 50% retracement and seeing if you get any back?
Yeah, you mean a full move right back to that under the trend line. 655 is under the trend line.
So that's about as far as it would go if it's
yeah, I mean, if you look at July last year, that would be a retest of July's level. And we are topping out on the RSI, so we might see 666. Well, I think we'll either see 655 or 665, 670. One of these three levels, either 50%, the trend line, or the 50, daily 50. One of those three levels. Somewhere in here, I think we'll retrace into somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Corn's stronger. Corn looks as if it could hold 490.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And
good.
The beans are already pulling away some. I think the most we can expect on the beans is 1455. RSI is high on that. Any other commodities? Sugar. Let's look at gold. Let's look at gold.
I like sugar. I tried.
All right, okay. Let's stick with sugar. Hang on. Right.
There was a level there somewhere down.
That got a lot of touches of 1743. I think if I would keep an eye on that for 1740 area, 1750. Let's keep an eye on gold. I just think gold might be ready to hold here. Low RSI, if we finish like this today, then I think we'll get a bit of a pop. So if you look at what happened back here, July last year, we ran up into the 200. We retraced back to this area here and then ran. And so far we had a really nice run up here to 1392. And we've got a lot of action at this level, right across the chart. I would keep a very close eye on gold. I think that might hold. What else have we got? Let's look at some US tech stocks and then some bellwethers in the tech sector. Bear in mind the Nasdaq. Let's look at the Nasdaq first. Because the Nasdaq has been lagging, so we need this Nasdaq to close above 36.16. Tested that fib zone yesterday and sold. We have a lot of this is a big area from the very back end of last year. So if we close above 36, we stand a chance. But we've got, but yeah, Dow is holding up. S&P's at resistance, a very delicate area up there at resistance. So techs at the moment are out of favour. So let's look at some bellwethers. Scrappy charts. That's that rack space again. Where are we? Coolcom had a good period. That looks top heavy, doesn't it? That's a sell signal. New high, close below. That's a sell signal on QCOM. Would I short it? RSI is not extreme. I'm gonna leave it. Unclear. Juniper. What do you think of Juniper? JNPR.
Do you think it's going to want to fill that gap, Mike?
Say it again.
Do you think it might want to fill that gap?
To the downside, yeah. Well, my initial thought was to look to the upside, but I see where you're coming from. It's potentially rejecting the 50 EMA up here. That's a massive trendline support, huge trendline support that we held on Friday. What do you think, Ed? What are you seeing, Ed?
I can't see the rest of it, but that could also be you know, a sort of breakout and a flag forming before the next move up, couldn't it?
Yeah. It's an island basically. I mean, there's the big move up. Let's see if it's holding a fib level.
I mean, what's going on the left-hand side of the chart? Is it broken up above resistance, or?
Let's have a look.
What happens at 2400?
Yeah, so at 2900 we fill a gap, and we haven't actually filled that gap yet. The gap down in June 2011. It's not clear, is it? I mean, it's a potential island breakout, but we're hesitating at this level at the moment. Let's steer clear. I mean, if we're undecided, I think guess a lot of the market's undecided. Well, here's a bellwether, Google. Now, is that a great opportunity to get in, or is this sunk? So that's in an interesting area at the very least. Low RSI.
I mean,
It's got a habit of pulling up on dips like this. At the moment, these dips have got bought here in December 20 and January 27. So if it's going to work to the upside, it's going to have to close above. It's going to have to pop out of that box. I think whichever way we come out of that box is the next direction for Google. We've got we got a nice move up, but that's quite some distribution pattern, isn't it? So there's another sort of funnel pattern there. See that we get channel into a funnel, and then we break down to support. We could just push back up and roll over. The 200 EMA is quite key here. We're sort of bending down at the moment. If we come down to touch it and can hold, Google can rise. We've got the 50 EMA coming down at the moment. So any chart that's trapped between the 50 and the 200 can be a very tough call, and this is no exception. I would steer clear until we get at least another day's action out of the way and see what happens. That's certainly not clear direction at the moment, other than the recent downfall. Finisar, Facebook and LinkedIn, I think, and probably even Twitter are struggling. See, that looks very much like Google to me. We had, yeah, some nice runs, pullback, runs, pullbacks, runs. So that's wave 1, 2, 3. So this is an A wave correction. Could be in for a B wave, then a C wave, and then D. We rotate back to the trend. So if we're going to get an A, B, C, and D, we could run into the 50 MA or back up to that resistance here, pull back to this support, and then go. So again, it's the short term with low RSI, holding this support, selling. Let's not forget we're weak, we're selling. But I think, like Google, whichever way we come out of this little box here, it's going to be direction, short-term direction. I will keep an eye on that, because if that,
it is, Mike. It is also the.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a massive delay on this. This is the first time you've kind of got this topping pattern, and it's closed conclusively underneath the moving average. So, in a way, it could be the end of that trend. But
yeah, I agree. What I am seeing though is that support. So if this could be a wiggle setup where we pushed high, got too exhausted, and the market thinks this is a good price to get in. But I agree with you. Anything under the 50 MA is riskier. Your longs are riskier under the 50 MA. So no question that could drop further. That could drop out, break the low, and come and test this 200. So it's one to watch. It's not one to trade. It's one to watch. But keep an eye on it, because at some stage in the coming weeks, or maybe the second half of the year, that could go on another big leg up on a D wave. Uh, 5, don't like the chart. Digital River. Digital River is interesting. That's a massive wedge. Look at that. I tell you, if we close above 180 on that could fly. So I'm gonna again just keep an eye on that. Short term, we could come down and visit these lows, come down back down to these levels. Longer term, I think that could pick up and run. So that's just a watch list as well. NJ has gone. Cree is messy and sideways. Yeah, that's messy. I don't want to get involved in that. Broadcom. Not bad. BlackBerry. So a weaker selling on BlackBerry. Back to a fib level. Hammerlight bar, low RSI. I think, like Google and Facebook, just keep it in the back pocket. What do you guys think?
It's a dodgy one, isn't it, BlackBerry?
Yeah.
Just, I think it's still a really shit company that making really bad phones. So
yeah,
it could easily go all the way back down to the bottom. And I think people were taking a punt back in December December, weren't they? Because it's nearly doubled since those guys
I think the story.
bought back the ball for them, but
I think the story.
that could just be a punt more than anything.
I think the story on this one is that they've got a big contract with Ford, and they're going to start having their technology in Ford cars. That's why they had that bounce.
Oh right, okay.
So if we hold, if you look at the
yeah, I mean a parallel low, kind of the levels that it's at now.
So we're
if it's around that area, it's right there like that.
I would give it at least another day.
Well, if you look at the amount of, it was hanging there for over a month in October, so
yeah.
I mean, I think it might take its time there, but if it starts to form a base, then it could be a good long.
Yeah. I don't write it off, but yeah, you're right. That October-November action was interesting. Of course, we gapped down from there, of course.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye. Okay. I need to break away from these screens pretty soon, so let's just finish up.
Mike, can we just have a quick look at one thing?
Yeah, sure.
I found something on a scan yesterday and jumped into it, probably a little bit foolishly, but it's HDFC Bank Limited.
Okay. What's the ticker for that?
Can't even find
the
code. It's a good question. It doesn't have it on IG. You have to.
So which bank is it again?
One second. It's called HDFC, and the ticker is.
Okay, I'll find it. Okay. Let me just grab it.
Everything's running really slowly on my side at the moment.
Is it Holy Frontier Corp? It's a US stock, is it? No, that's not. That's HFC.
Yeah, sorry. The code is HGB. That's Hotel Delta Bravo.
HGB. Okay.
On the US. No. Hotel Delta Bravo.
So repeat that slowly.
Hotel Delta Bravo.
Delta HDB.
Yeah.
Wow. How long have you been in this one?
Well, I took a short yesterday near the highs, but it's kind of printed another really bullish bar. I took it because of the RSI and the hammer, star.
I see. Well, I get
like
it.
It's going higher.
Yeah. This could potentially be a Marriott hotel, couldn't it? We've got a gap.
Yeah.
We've got a gap fill at 41, 46. It looks as if it's going for a gap fill, doesn't it? Oh, that's a bit of a hangman bar, though. Let's see what resistance we got up here. I take it your stop's just above us here, is it?
That's right, yeah, so it nearly stopped out right now.
I would just sit tight because I can see what you're doing. It might just want to go and fill that gap, that's all. If you look back,
Is it one of these ones where it's just too strong at the moment?
yeah, I mean it's a great setup. I mean I would take that any day of the week.
Okay.
I think the setup's right. I mean it's extreme RSI. Let's just compare that with my screw up on, or my stop out on, I should say, on Marriott's. Yeah. Marriott's look really tired up there and it just won't give. Too strong a stock. Okay. Alright guys, so I'll come back to all of these later on today and in the video tonight. But otherwise I need to get away from these screens at the moment. My eyes are sore now.
Alright, Mike, thank you very much.
Okay guys, I'll be around at 10 to 1, yeah, 10 to 1 Mike, if you're around. Are you skiing today, Ed? What are you up to today?
I'm going to go and have a chat with some guy about paragliding.
Oh, brilliant, okay.
The snow's all kind of melting now, so I'm going to jump off mountains instead.
Instead of skiing down them, you're going to jump off them, okay. Alright, catch up with you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
But yeah, going to finish up the trading first and then go see what danger I can find. Cheers.
Okay, see you guys.